What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy, SumnSumnSumn. Hit the keys. Here today to bring you guys a quick review and demonstration over Gatelab by Audio Modern. Audio Modern is the same people that brought us Chord Jam. I did a review on that a little ways back. Card in the corner. Basically, Gatelab is a gate sequencer, but you can do a whole lot with this plugin. Make sure if you guys like this content, though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button. Hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you will be the first to see. But let's go ahead and get right into this review. Some, hit the key. All right, guys. So when you open up the plugin, it's going to look like this. So it does look similar to, Chord Jam or other plugins from Audio Modern. What's cool about this plugin is that you do have like a left and a right side. So it will gate the effect from left to right. So that's pretty cool. Or you can throw it in mono as well, but we'll go over that here in just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and just play the chords that I put down. There's some basic chords, but we're just going to go through that so I can show you the gate and effect through that. So this is what they sound like. So nothing too fancy. So let's go ahead and open Gatelab back up. So this is basically every time you open it up, it's going to be on this setting right here. So I would recommend throwing on some headphones for this so that you can hear the gating effect from left to right. But I'm going to go ahead and push play so that you can hear what just the default setting sounds like. So that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and go through some of the functions. So up here, as you're looking at the top, you have the regular gate sequencer, and then you have flow mode. So the difference between the regular gate sequencer, like if I push random, it's only going to give me full bars. So it's only going to give me full steps versus if I hit flow mode, I can change the size of the note. So you see how here I'm in regular mode. I can't change the side. All I can do is add notes and take them away. And so what this is going to do basically when it's in flow mode is you can change the volume of the step. So listen. So when it's hitting, it's not at full volume, it's at partial volume. So that makes it pretty interesting because you can make the effect, sound pretty dope. Next over here, you're going to have your complexity mode. So this basically affects your random. So like, let's say I push random and this is the complexity number 1. It's not very complex. This is about a medium rate, and then this is very complex. So if I push the random here, you see how it's got very few notes. But if I hit it on the complexity number 2, it's going to have more notes there for you. And then if I hit complexity number 3, it's going to have a lot more notes there for you. See? So I'm going to go ahead and put this back on regular mode for just a moment. I'm going to go back and forth between the two as the demonstration goes on. But we'll hit that one more time, then you see how it just gives you more notes. So that's a pretty cool feature. Right here, you can make the gate go forward or you can make it go backwards. So as we've been watching it the whole time, the gate's been going this way. But if you hit this button right here, it'll go in reverse. So it'll go the opposite direction. So, that's pretty cool. And then this right here puts it on ping pong. So it'll go back and forth and it'll just go from left to right and right to left. So that's pretty cool to give you a nice little switch up. I forgot to mention up here, you do have your back. So you can go back or you can go forward in case, you messed up something and you want to go back to it. That's a pretty cool feature as well. This button right here clears off the board. So boom, now we have nothing. And if you push play with nothing, obviously you're not going to hear a sound. So you have to see green bars in order to hear sounds because your green bars are what's going to be the sound. I'm pretty sure you guys have figured that out by now, but I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. So right here, you have your bypass. So when the green is on, that means it's ready to play. If I turn the green off, it'll bypass. So that's pretty cool. And then next to that, you have another button where you can hold down for bypass. So like, let's say it's playing and I push the bypass button. But it does a reverse effect as well. So if I turn off and I turn the bypass on, I can still play the notes if I push that green in. So this will do the opposite of what this button right here is doing at all times. So that's pretty nice as well. Next up, we have the infinity button. So when you push this down, basically what the infinity button is going to do is it's going to randomize the steps after so many bars. So after like 4 bars, it's going to randomize these 4 steps. You can make it change however length that you want, but I'll go ahead and play it just so that you guys can see. I'm going to start at just the 1 though. See. And so you notice how after it went through twice, it switched up the sequence every single time. So that's a pretty cool effect as well. You can use if you wanted to get some randomness, you know, in your gate. So then down here we have your mono and your stereo. So if I click on this mono, it just puts them all in obviously mono, but it doesn't gate from left to right. So I don't want to necessarily say mono because all your sounds are still going to play in stereo, but it's not going to gate from left to right like it would if you had it in stereo. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this back in stereo though, because that's kind of how I like it. Next up, we have the speed of the gate sequencer. So right now it's on 1/16, but you can change it to 132. You can change it to 1/4, 1/8. So, you know, obviously it's going to change how fast the gate goes. So, you know, you can affect that as well. I like it on 1/16 though. Next up, we have the amount of steps in the sequence. So it's at 16 right now, but we can just hit this arrow and obviously you see how more steps are coming in. You can make it as long, I believe up to 64, or you can make it as small as you want. So, you know, if you were to make the steps like this, so, you know, that's you know, nice feature as well. So you can get some variety in your you know, your gate. Next up, we have a lock. So I guess before we get to lock, we'll get to this button right here. This right here is basically what the step's going to be controlling. So as you see, this is highlighted. It's because the green only goes over to right here. So in the middle of this demonstration, my battery is dying in my mouse. So I'm going to have to change that. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So basically with this, all you have to do is stretch it over here and then it'll cover the rest of the region. So you can also move this around. So like, let's say I have this bar like this small. So you can make it cover whatever region that you want to. Next up is lock. So basically with this lock, if I push this lock in, like let's say I push one of these notes, I'm not sure if you can really see it, but there's a yellow on the bottom of the note. So like let's say I push a lock on a few of these notes and then I push randomize, boom, no matter where I do, those notes that I've locked in will always stay there. So even if I go smaller, those notes, this note, and this note will always stay there. They'll never move. They'll never go anywhere. So that's a nice little feature too. So if you know you want it to gate there, you know, it'll always gate there for you. And then to turn off the lock, all you have to do is hit this arrow and it'll turn it off for you. All right, and so then up next, we have complexity. And with complexity, this goes hand in hand with these little dots right under the steps. So if you see I push this dot, it makes this a half a step. If I push it again, it'll make it 2. If I push it again, it'll make it 3. And so that'll just change up the way that the gate goes as you're playing it. So I'm gonna go ahead and push play. So you hear how it gives it a little stutter. So I'll do it again on the note next to it so that you can hear it again. So that's pretty cool. That gives it, you know, another little change up And so then this right here goes hand in hand with it. So like, let's say I raise this up, you know, to a number and I push randomize, it'll give me a whole bunch of different combinations of, you know, steps in my sequence. So we'll listen to this. So, you know, that's a pretty cool feature as well. Then we'll hit random again. Let's go ahead and put it in a more complex pattern and hit random and listen to it. So, you know, that's pretty cool as well. And then next up right here, we have the presets. So these are all the different presets. So, you know, you can just click on one of these and boom, it'll give you a different preset. So that's pretty cool as well. Hit another one. All right, and so next, this feature right here is pretty cool as well. Right here, if you push one of these, so what this is going to do is this is going to take away different notes every time it goes around. So basically you can use this for like an outro, and then this one will add notes every single time. So we'll go ahead and start with this one first. We'll just put it on complex and we'll push play and you'll see what I'm talking about. And so then it does it until all the notes are gone. And then on the reverse side, it will do it until it adds some notes. So, you know, it's going to go around the first time with no notes. So, and you can put it on however you want. It doesn't have to be the most complex pattern. It can be on one of the two less complex patterns as well. That's perfectly fine. So we're going to get random again. Right here, another thing I'm not going to show you and break down today, but you can actually shoot this plugin out to your MIDI. And then what you can do is you can control different parameters on whatever synth that you're using, whether it's cutoffs or control resonant frequencies and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool as well. So let's go ahead and tap this again. So these two buttons right here with the dots, basically, if I push this button right here, it just copied this pattern to this one. Let's hit randomize again. And if I do the same, if I push this button right here, it's going to copy this pattern onto this one right here. So that's pretty cool. We're going to hit randomize again. And so these buttons right here are nudge buttons. So this basically nudges the step over just one spot. So, you know, it'll nudge it over and you can do that as many times as you want. If you push the left one, it'll just nudge them some more. Another thing that they have here is presets. So like, let's say you're working on a beat or something like that. You can push plus right there and it'll save this pattern. Now let's go ahead and hit random and we're going to save this one right here and we'll hit random again and we'll save that one right here. And so then you can just flick through those patterns that you saved and it'll save them for you in that project. You can also save them up here as well as a preset, you know, and then you can name them and stuff like that as well. So it's pretty nice as well. Another thing that I wanted to show you guys before I finish with this is another little cool trick that you can do with this plugin is that you can use it on your hi-hats to give your hi-hats some more sauce. So again, this is a free gate. You can do all kinds of stuff with this. But with this gate, like let's say I have this regular hi-hat pattern right here, right? Just some regular hi-hats, nothing fancy. No velocity change, nothing to them. Now let's say I throw some Gatelab on there and we throw flow mode on there. We add a complex pattern, hit this. Hear how it's giving it some more bounce. So it's doing basically changing the velocities and stuff for you. Let's go ahead and do it on a less complex pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and shrink this for just a moment because this is vectoral. And I'm going to show you guys over here because some of you guys I know might not have headphones on. It's panning those hi-hats for you as well. And so then, like, let's say I change it with this right here. So let's go ahead and change the complexity of this. Now let's do it. So, I mean, you can use it on your hi-hats as well to get some pretty unique hi-hat patterns and, you know, just switch things up. So would I recommend this gate sequencer? I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's definitely probably the best free gate sequencer I've ever used. It's pretty user-friendly. As you guys can see, as I've shown you, there's a whole lot of different things that you can do with it. It's got a lot of different functionalities. So I would definitely recommend going to grab it. You know, again, it's free. Make sure if you guys like this content, though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell. So every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. All right, guys and gals, thanks for watching the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe and like button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so every time a new video comes out, you can be the first to know. Let me know what tutorials you want to see next in the comments, and see you next time.
Some, hit the key.